Howdy there, folks, and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. As soon as I started the game, I hit turn go, and I forgot to hit record because I'm stupid. And then I found out that Russia decided to go in Afghanistan, which we call that the Graveyard of Empires for a reason. I hope this goes well. This could go very poorly. So far, nobody is willing to fight me, which is interesting. It's very interesting that nobody is willing to commit violence against my person. Uh-huh. Okay. Just gonna sit here and wait. So, we were talking about interesting ships. Now, last time around, I told you that, yes, the Soviet Union maintained Imperial Russian dreadnoughts in the Black Sea until the 50s. You might be asking, well, why? Certainly the age of the missile, and certainly advances in submarines, and certainly all of these other priorities would have meant, hey, get rid of those ancient things. But see, there was a reason for it. So, there were two Moltke-class battlecruisers built by the Imperial German Navy. And one of them was the SMS Goeben, which is actually named for August Karl von Goeben, who's a Franco-Prussian war dude. You can go look up his history. Interesting guy. But, you know, German battlecruiser, they were built in 1909, or rather ordered in 1909. They finished in 1911 and then commissioned in 1912. And these are pre-World War I era battlecruisers, which follow the standard German battlecruiser idea, which is it's got a crap load of 280 millimeter guns, or for those of you who speak Berger units, those are 11-inch guns. Oh, yeah? Well, fuck you, Austro-Hungary. We're going to war. Okay, what are we doing? We're going to war against Austro-Hungary. And they decided to go after Serbia, so we started World War I early. Boy. All right, so I've got this giant fleet that is fleet-like, and I'm going to use it against these guys, and I'm just going to blockade them. So, step one of my blockade is to do the Otranto barrage, which was done in World War I. I'm just going to move... Oh, can't move them all. I'm going to move that many cruisers there. I'm going to send out the second group of cruisers, and I'm going to park them there. And, yep, okay, I've got them all bottled up, which is great. Odessa, yeah, we're going to just put more dudes there and go, yep, death to Austria-Hungary. Yep, okay, more ships. We're just going to put more ships there. And we're just going to sit there and pile on in. And then torpedo boats, I'm going to put the torpedo boats actually closer to them, so they have to fight the bee swarm. And that's it. I only have to use this many ships in this part of my Navy. Now, what I can do with my naval budget, because they gave me so much more, is up the transport capacity and crew training. I know transport capacity is capped at 200%, but I'm going to up it up to... Oh, God, I can't. It's like, no. All right, let's up it to there, because my crew is not well trained at all, but we have a decent crew pool. So back to the Moltke class. German battlecruisers and British battlecruisers are very different animals. They're both designed to be fast, and they're both designed, well, faster than dreadnoughts, and they're both designed to go out there and pick fights and smash cruisers and then run away from anything they can't kill. Now, German battlecruisers were not that fast, like 25 knots. It's not like British battlecruisers where they just start hauling ass. However, they were typically smaller, and they were really decently armored for what they were. It's like the Germans didn't get the memo, and someone just said make a smaller dreadnought, which is what they ended up doing. Time to fight a war. All right, torpedo boats. Oh, wow. That is... oh, yeah, that's not so good. Okay. No, settle down. Settle down. Gary. Gary. Okay, we're going to turn right. These boats are a little unstable, as you can see. Perhaps not the best design. But hey, we'll get it done. Now, what is the range of my torpedoes? Let's see. Okay, 1.5 kilometers. Yeah, not the most stable boat. This one's about to roll over. Hey, can you imagine trying to eat lunch at the mess deck? What's for lunch? Soup. Just start some dubstep music, you know? Get stick bugged. Oh my god. What a fucking nightmare of a boat. So anyways, I'm gonna try not to look at that thing, but I can't help it. It's really, it's like a tippy bird moving at 100 miles an hour. So anyways, yeah, so there's this thing that happens in World War One, where Kaiser Wilhelm II had told his navy that, you know, in the event of war, any ships at sea should just go out and conduct raids and beat the shit out of people, right? So the Goeben and the Breslau, there's a whole story about this, and it's called the Pursuit of the Goeben and the Breslau. These guys were in the Western Med, and the idea was since they were already deployed, to just conduct a shitload of raids off the African coast, you know, North Africa, to prevent French troops from getting all the troops in their empire home, which is a pretty smart idea. So this is 1914, and when they heard that, you know, soup's on, it's time to go to war, they just start shelling French Algeria like minute one. You know what I mean? Just like, aha. And then what they did is just keep going. They just keep running down the coast, shelling everything. You know, just shelling everything. But the thing is that the German Admiralty was kind of at odds with Kaiser Wilhelm. So the German Admiralty was like, run to Constantinople right this fucking minute. Do not sit around and shell things and die, right? So they had to go along the way. They had to stop for coaling, naturally. And they encountered the Brits, but, you know, Germany was not actually at war at that time with Britain. So they just, like, waved and kept going. So they decided to keep going, keep rolling along, and they keep finding that there's all sorts of interesting things that happen in terms of international law. Like, Italy's neutral at this point, and coaling by act of belligerence in a port has some rules. So they had to leave. And the French fleet at that point largely remained in the Western Mediterranean. I think it was Admiral Lepayre. And, you know, he thought that the Germans would go west, escape the Atlantic, and, you know, or they thought that the Germans would go east and go to Pola, you know, and hang out with the Austro-Hungarian fleet, which existed. And, yeah, it didn't do that. Instead, they went all the way to the Eastern Mediterranean. And by that point, the British joined the war and are like, we're going to go fuck this guy up. And so they try to intercept the Goeben and the Breslau. So what more or less happens is by August, these things have reached the Dardanelles, and they are met by the Ottomans. And the Ottoman government, in order to get around the whole neutrality thing, because the Ottomans were at this point undecided as well. Excellent book, by the way, Fall of the Ottomans. I'd heavily recommend that, which is how I know this story in full. It's in that book, and it's really interesting. And it's kind of funny because there's a lot of disagreement on this, but I would say that most historians do agree on the principle that the parties, Germany and the Ottomans, reached the point of what's called a fictitious sale, where they were like, oh, we'll transfer these ships to you, so they're Ottoman now, and we'll show you how to use them. In exchange, the Ottomans starts coming over to the German side. And yeah, it's kind of interesting because the Ottomans said, yeah, we bought these for like 80 million marks, and there was a formal ceremony and everything else. And, you know, they commissioned them in the Turkish fleet. And so the Goeben was named Yavuz Sultan Selim. And, yeah, what's kind of funny is the German crews stayed on board and put on Ottoman uniforms and fezzes. So imagine a bunch of Germans with their Prussian mustaches and stuff wearing fezzes. And these things stayed active all through World War I. And then the Ottomans kept them, which is kind of interesting because, see, the Ottomans were actually about to buy dreadnoughts. They had a public issuance of bonds to purchase dreadnoughts. And then the war kind of breaks out, and the Brits go, we're taking these, even though the Ottomans had paid for them. The Ottomans had paid for them, and the British said, oh, these are fancy and fine. I'm keeping them because I need them. And the Ottomans were pissed. They felt ripped off. So here is the other side of that war going, I'm going to give you ships, and, you know, maybe you join my side. And the Ottomans did. So what's interesting is the Ottomans kept these things on the books until the 50s. So, you have a battlecruiser from World War I or pre-World War I, run by the Ottomans, so it's in its second navy, versus the Russians, who then became the Soviet Union, operating a pre-World War I dreadnought on the other side of the Black Sea. So two of these relics from pre-World War I shipbuilding programs squared off until the 50s. Believe it or not, an American task force going through there was met by the Goeben, aka the Salim, and was actually met by a 19-gun salute in the 50s. So it's kind of weird. These things stuck around a long, long time, and they were modernized as long as they could until it was just time to sink them. Oh my God, look how horrible this thing rolls. But this is the reason why I like history. I find that history is seldom going to be as entertaining as people want it to be, because people love the same sort of stories that Hollywood tells them to love, which is, oh, I want to see the story of David versus Goliath. I want to see the story of good guys versus bad guys. I want to see the story of X, Y, and Z. If you dig deep into history, it's weirder than you could imagine. It's a lot weirder than you can imagine. Real history is bizarre. Okay, let's turn left. Oh, not good. Very, very ungood. Water inside. But I'm going to torp him back. Ooh, yeah. Go fuck yourself. All right. Yeah. So far, they've managed to sink one of my guys, more or less, and I managed to sink one of... Oh, yeah, that's not so good. But they're using all their torpedoes on my whittle guy. I wouldn't do that. All right, full speed, boys. Oh, man, he's blowing up bad. I think we might torpedo our own... No, that's actually a decent spread. Let's see if these hit. Yeah! And one more. Oh, this is going to be good. And it's good. All right, let's continue bullying these guys. They're like, please no bully. Yeah, he's gonna sink. Take that, Salzburg. Oh, God. The torpedoes exploded. Maybe I shouldn't have... Maybe I shouldn't have armored them in balsa wood. All right, my boats are sinking pretty bad, but it's okay. We're just gonna torpedo this guy here, the Leoben. And yeah, I see torps going out from my battle line. So he's... Oh, no. Yeah, it's not so good. He's gonna get it. Now, my guys are also shooting through their own squadron, which is bad. So bad on us. That being said, I'm gonna shoot the fuck out of this guy over here. I'm gonna blast him. And it'll be a good time. Oh, yeah. Look at that. We got a war against the Austro-Hungarians, and on day one, we traded a few little torpedo boats for 2 heavy cruisers and 2 torpedo boats. I think that's not a bad trade. It's like 100 dudes lost. Well, each of these has 483 on it. Oh, yeah, that's going to look bad in their papers. It's going to look real bad. And you know what? Let's torp a torp boat because we can. And that's just bad. That is dropping an anvil on a puppy. That is... that's bad. And the BPL yesterday was showing the Morno. And people said I was using excessive amounts of artillery on what I presumed to be enemy infantry movements. And I said, no. It's like dropping an anvil on a puppy. War is horrible. It is fucking horrible. It is factually, violently horrible. So, in order to end a war on favorable means as quickly as possible, you must be horrible. Yes, this is the General Sherman argument. And that shit works. So, you know, Warno was set in World War III, a what-if, hypothetical, Cold War gone hot 1989. And if such is the battleground, there's no holding back. This is a nuclear war. So, you have to be a monster. 135 versus 1090. I win. See, I'm going to build ships that look nothing like this. This looks like a ship that would probably handle the sea very well. I won't be building that. I will be building something far, far worse. I'm going to build ships that look funny. Yeah. All right, so they're already losing. No, I'm not going to sell the Birdbath class. Not going to do that. Everything else I'm just going to sit on. And yeah, I think I'm just going to blockade the shit out of these guys until they give me what I want. I might take... Oh, hell yeah. We're sending land troops into Hungary. Soon the paprika will be ours. He who controls the paprika makes the paprikash. He who controls the goulash controls the universe. All right, so they got, this looks like the whole fleet. And my little guys are going in again. Cool. You know, I bet driving something like this around would be pretty neat. Maybe not super fun. I mean, it's I don't know. I think a rogue wave would send this rolling over, but I like the idea of the open bridges. I know that was absolutely stupid bad shit and was very much not the definition of safe, but call me a romantic. There was something magical here, right? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to actually sail in abreast, and we're going to just aggressively shoot torpedoes at everything we can, right? And I think that's the way to do this. Is we just go in, and we do our nice flying wedge. We do our homeworld style fleet formation. We go in there, and we just shoot as many torpedoes at them as we can. Yep, here we go. Oh yeah, there's a battleship. Give me that battleship meat. See, if I sink the battleship, they'll have to explain to the Habsburgs why it broke. Explodo. Torps in the water? Oh, it's gonna be good. 3 duds. Fuck. And I took some unresolved. Oh, that's bad. But those didn't. Oh, yes. And here we go. We're rolling through that formation. Oh, yes. More torps inbound on their battleship. 2 more hits. They're not liking this so much. They're like, why? I'm like, this is just wave 1. All right, their battleship's sinking. Their light cruisers are sinking. Yeah, let's keep going, boys. Let's give them that business. They're like, but why? Oh my God, we keep torping them. They're shooting torps into their own formation now in a panic. They're probably flailing around screaming, and I'm like, yeah. Shoot torpedoes at balsa wood. I don't give a fuck. Here we go. This is a white knuckle fight. Hold fast, boys. Hold fast. They're making smunk, and they're running everywhere. They're making smunk, and they're running everywhere. Oh, and you got to ram me? You're going to regret that, because guess what? Now you have hull damage. All right, boys. Almost everything I have is catastrophically damaged. Oh, cool. Look, the Magnet. That's a great name for a ship. I hope you find some mines, you fuck. Oh, you found some torpedoes instead. No, my ships contain the explosive known as picric acid, which... Yeah, so all they have to do is bonk them once, and then they're in trouble. That being said, almost everything's been torped over on my side, and that which remains is horribly damaged. So let's break it. Oh, look. He's like, no, my water. All right, Selzen. Here we go. Keep going. I know they don't like this, but it's okay. Torp time. Oh, and another one. And another one, like DJ Khaled said. More torps. Oh, man. What a fight. We're just going through them like shit through a goose. Yeah, go ahead, torp me. I don't care. It's a dud. You suck. Fatality. So, yeah, we're just going to sink most of their navy in one go. And I think that is exactly the terror of torpedo boats. This is what they were designed to do. Roll in and raid. A lot of people don't understand the purpose of something like PT boats or torpedo boats. And the idea is in relatively shallow or littoral waters, you can roll up the coast like a powerboat and floor it. You can get up close to the shoreline and then find where these big ships can't maneuver so well. You can get into the harbor with these things if you time it right. Yes, I know there are harbor defenses. Yes, I know there's chains and nets and everything else. But if you time it right, you wait till one of their tugboats moves something out of the harbor. Uh-oh. Time to show up. Time to be the world's worst jack-in-the-box. Just pop up and attack. And this shit works, and these are relatively, and I do mean relatively simple. And what's interesting is there are modern speed attack boats. The Finnish Navy has a bunch of them. Well, not a bunch, they're a small navy, but they have some of them. And a lot of nations with a lot of shoreline use these fast little attack boats. And you'll find some that have Sea Whiz, dual 50 cals, even Hellfire fucking missiles. And you come in screaming at 40 knots like a cigarette boat blasting the Miami Vice soundtrack and just sink the shit out of people. And I mean, sure, the enemy shoots back once, they're going to kill you. But you can afford a lot of small boats for the money, and how are they going to deal with a volley of 80 Hellfires plus a bunch of guys firing automatic grenade launchers? Most modern ships are not that armored. Replacing things like Aegis is very expensive. So if you manage to shoot all the panels of one of these fancy Aegis radars, you've put that ship out of service for months and months and months for the cost of just a whittle guy. This reminded me of a cavalry charge. Here we go. Oh, ow, ow. Let's get it done. Let's get it done and sink these guys. Come on. I mean, yeah, they have a cruiser left, but I don't care. I'm gonna get him next. Oh man, those torpedoes split right before hitting him. Son of a bitch. They might hit me. Oh well. You lived a good life. No, he's done. Hey, look, it's the mech. Good job. Python T-38. That sounds like something from Crimson Skies. The T-38 Python, brought to you by Raytheon. All right, let's see. Oh, yeah, one last guy here. We're hopefully going to torp him. This guy's going to the bottom. He just doesn't know it yet. Oh, yep, there he goes. All right, so Operation Clean Sweep is a go. You lose. Bring out your dead. The Japanese had a lot of destroyers with really, really, really good torpedoes. And that's kind of what you want, actually. For Pacific Islands and what have you, you can sit in the shallows and pop these things off as ships come in. Oh, no. We're going to fight to the end. You have a lot of territory, and the army's just now getting involved. And look, we get a surface battle with what's left of, I presume, their navy? Yeah. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's have ourselves a throwdown. I will bathe in the blood of my enemies. Oh, look at all that smokestack. What a good boat. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna form up and we're gonna Great White Fleet these guys. We're gonna do a tight formation. We're gonna do abreast. Oh, look at all that smoke. Look at that. Ah, oh, such a fine and fancy vessel. All right, boys, form up. Oh my God. The smonk stacks. The Tsar is pleased. These are terrible boats, but I'm glad we're getting them into action. The enemy probably sees this giant haze of unburnt coal floating over their lines, and they just start coughing. They're like, what is that? I'm like, that is the future. I'm going to see how long I can keep these in service. It's not like the Habsburg where I built the one and then babied it. I just want to see how long I can keep them in service using them regularly. Does this sound like a bad idea? It probably is, but I don't care. Oh my God, look at that broadside. I'm a pirate ship. Look at that, hold on. Arr. Look at that, that is amazing. The enemy's like, what in the cinnamon toast fuck? And I'm like, it's about to get worse. Because the rest of these are about to come in range. I think they're just gonna leave. They're like, nope. And that's fine, because they're probably faster than I am. Yep, they also have much larger guns, but in strangely single turrets. That's interesting. My guys are trying to figure it out. Looks like they got the speed right, just the range wrong, because they're shooting above and to the right. So they just need to adjust range, and they'll be pretty much on the ball. All right, boys, pursuit formation. The enemy could probably decide this engagement by just leaving, which is fine. The whole purpose of my navy here is to challenge their navy for how much ocean I'm going to let them have. I'm going to be like, no, you don't get the navy, you don't get the ocean, you don't get it. Not allowed. Just keep swinging. Okay, now it's a gunfight. They've decided they will give some battle, but not much. They're going to make sure that I close with them. All right, boys. Begin the Star Wars firepower show. This is a lot like the prequels of Star Wars, where you just have ships doing broadsides for no reason. It's like you have all of space to fight, and it's like, I'm gonna pull next to that guy and shoot him with the pirate guns. Dumb? Yes. Cool? Yes. All right. Yep. You will fight my broadsides. This is actually working. I did not think it would. All right. Concentrate firepower on that guy. The beams. Mother of God. He's going up. And he's gone. All right. Operation Sandblast. Him now. Oh, boy. And he's done. All right, next. That guy. Sandblast him, boys. Yeah, this is amazing. Horizon to horizon with smoke. Let's roll coal, boys. Man, they are really getting it. Well, It appears they did not bring enough guns to my gunfight. However, I do know that all it will take is them to pin one of these casemates and this thing will explode forever. Disregard torpedoes. Acquire gun. Oh, man. Oh, they got a round through on him. And they're shooting torps at me, which is not nice. Keep shooting, boys. Look at this guy. He's just getting pelted to death. Just nothing but fire. Good God. This is amazing. Oh, and he's going up. Okay, that's a bad hit. But not bad enough to make me stop. Are you bad enough dudes to take infinite 2-inch gunfire? I don't think so. Some of my guys are falling out of formation because they're getting beat to death, but that's okay. We're running them down. They can do 19 knots. I can do 17 knots. I think they're slowing down to try to maintain formation with their damaged ships, which I wouldn't do. I would be like, oh man, I'd do the Top Gear thing. You know, where the guy's sitting there and they're like, oh, shouldn't we help James? And they're like, no, and they just leave. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, you're the bait now. Alright, my head ship just took some major engine hits. Now, armor is failing. Not that these things have much armor. That being said, the enemy is taking a hellacious pounding in 2-inch shells. And, yeah, they're not having a good time. I mean, these things are just setting fires everywhere. And pinning all of the light stuff on the superstructure, so it's shooting the radios out, it's shooting everything out, presuming they have radio telegraph, that is. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Oh, nothing. Okay, he sank. That guy's actually maintaining speed. They have much bigger guns than I do, but I don't care. This is about weight of fire. Fuck you, and you can have some too. Looks like the formation is split. Oh, that's why. That guy took some bad engine, but he has float 69. Nice. All right, let's keep fighting. Let's keep fighting. It's time to show them Habsburgs how to take it on the chin. Okay, they've escaped. I'll let them have this. I lost 62 guys. They lost 2,000. I think that's a victory. See, that's the word I can't say. Imperatriza Maria. This is the follow-on to the Gangut class, and it's interesting. You know, they're interesting ships, but I mean, these are certainly ships that were designed for the limitations of the Black Sea. They're not something I think you would see in the open Atlantic. No, you can't have that. Those are mine. Those are my battleships. They're not for other countries. And we're gonna take Hungary. It looks like, no, we're not. We have an army of 1 million men, and we've made 0 advancement. So that's very much the Imperial Russian Army in a nutshell. It's like, we threw 1 million men at the problem. Oh, did you win? Shut up. I've won many medals, I'll have you know. Yeah. Fun times. Oh, yeah. Failed negotiations, but they fired their admiral. Oh, yeah. There's transports. Let's sink those. You know what? I'm just going to auto-resolve that because, yes. Oh, they sank one of them. I'm not going to auto-resolve that. I'm going to auto-resolve this one, though, because, they sank one of my boys. God damn it. That's not allowed. I must now blockade them. I must blockade them. So we're also going into Bohemia and Moravia. And then we're going to, yeah, my ground forces are going hard. Meanwhile, they're invading Serbia, which I wouldn't. Looks like their navy is slowly trying to gather to do something, but I don't like it, so I'm not gonna let them. I'm just gonna drive in here and be like, I own everything. You are in trouble. So I can't get past that guy, which is fine. I won't try to get past the guy. I'll just blockade him. All right, so where's our fleet in terms of building here? 3 months until the birdbath is done. Then you're in trouble. Yep, I'm gonna go in there and just club these dudes. They're gonna be like, please, sir, not the women and the children. And I'll be like, I have women and children targeting munitions. I'm gonna be like Brazil in the War of the Triple Alliance. I will kill everything in front of me. That and by conquering some of this land, I can get the Russian Empire into Europe. Okay, so here's the rest of their big boat guys. So we need to fight this battle. We need to do it. I wonder if the guys in these Barbette casemates ever got into arguments. They're like, I'm Top Gun, I'm Bottom Gun, and then they just started yelling at each other, you know? Do you think there was a hole between, like, you know, in the shell hoist, that they would just, like, throw stuff at each other through it and be like, Top Gun best, and they're like, Bottom Gun strong. You think they had those kind of fights? You think the guys up here in their little autism fort, you know, just hung up there and they're like, I'm having fun. Don't call me. And people would yell up there and be like, do you see anything? And they're like, go away. I'm having a picnic and it's delightful. All right, so we're going to sail in and try to wreck as much of their navy as possible. Because I can just keep bringing ships out. 3 battleships, 1 heavy cruiser, 5 light cruisers, 4 torpedo boats. All right. I'm going to have 2 squadrons. I'm going to have... God damn it. There we go. All right. Abreast, tight. And I'm going to have you guys be abreast and tight. And then we're going to go HE, HE, aggressive, aggressive. We're going to go HE, HE, aggressive, aggressive. And these guys are the screen for these guys. So that's fine. And we're just going to go. We're just going to go right at them with the dirt boats. And here we go. Yep, I'm going to roll that coal, baby. Look at all that smunk. 'Tis a healthy amount of smunk. Just be glad there's nobody in the crow's nest in the back. They're like, I got the black lung. I went on 1 deployment. I'd say I'd wonder what their VA was like, but the Imperial Russian Navy's VA back in this point probably was, here's your free loaf of bread, now shut the fuck up. Smong. All right, here we go. There's that battleship. I hunger for it. Everyone concentrate fire on Big Boy 1. Oh, yeah, we're hitting now. All right, Rudolph. Volga's going to ram you. Because I got a pointy front of my boat. You don't. I know what pointy is for. 10-inch guns, huh? If you can't stop me, this is a you problem. Oh, man, he's torping through his own line. All right, let's open up some frames, shall we? Uh-huh. Yeah. I know. I don't have armor, so this is going to be great. He's like, no, please. And I'm like, yes. And a little bit of a scrape here, boys. There you go. Enjoy that. And that did more damage to me than it did to him. But I got him to turn and slow down. Holy crap, that thing can only do 12 knots. It must be all armor. This is nuts. This is like Age of Sail gunfighting now. And he's ramming more. He is nothing but fire. Good God. This is like Napoleonic ship fighting. What's the engagement range? Yards? How many? At least 7. Alright, so I'm gonna lose some guys in this horrible melee. But holy crap, this is magnificent. He's about to lose the Rudolph, which has 900 dudes on it, so that's gonna play bad in his press, naturally. Okay, Archangel Mikhail is gonna keep rolling up here. He's healing over bad. I destroyed one of his funnels, so his engines aren't doing well, and that engine room is turning into a smoke cloud. Alright, light him on fire, boys. Arr, on the upswing, give him a volley. Cut his sails, ahar, har. Ow. And Rudolph is burned down. Rudolph, why your nose so bright? Picric acid made it right. Dun 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 dun. Alright, I'm healing over with this guy. Turning it into submarine now. He's about to sink because of the excessive ramming and fires, and I'll probably start the Sigismund on its way to the bottom as well. He's gonna have to sink 10 of my cruisers to get to the same level of damage he's already taken. He is not having a good time. Alright, he's going to the bottom. Alright, Sigismund, give him the beans. Oh wait, look at this. He's like, hey, I'm a torpedo boat. And I was like, oh yeah? I'm a gunboat. Stand by. Oh, that's bad for him. Just giving him all the guns in passing. Give him that gun salute. He's like, ugh. That ship out there is just a fire. It's not even a boat. Sigismund is exploding constantly. I'm having to slow this down to just 1 speed, so I save my delicate computer. Good God. Hey Dev, if you're watching this, I'm sorry about all the memory problems. Holy crap. No, the dev is cool. The dev is just constantly tweaking this game. And we're going to get multiplayer, which is really exciting for me. Because I'd love to have big fleet actions where we all design really stupid ships and see, you know, who can come up with the dumbest designs. You know, everyone thought you need big guns on the Navy, and that's not true. You just need lots of them. How dare you? How dare you? I'm gonna shoot your guy with a lot of little holes, and then all 25 guys on there will have to find a new home. Oh yeah, we got a lot of owies. Okay, so, screen ships, shoot him. We're staying in this fight a lot better than he is. I mean, Sigismund is just burning to death. He's now going to sink. Good God. Alright, turn guns on him. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's a torp into my guys, but I think we're winning this one a bit. They've lost all their battleships, so at this point the blockading begins. Because if you can't break that blockade, you know, you have to depend on your allies and your trade partners. And I think at this point, Imperial Germany would be like, God damn it, Austro-Hungary. Why? And they would say, we're your German friends. And they're like, I don't know about that. You don't seem very friendly at all. In fact, you seem very not much our problem. You know, and Austro-Hungary would be like, Habsburg, save me. And no. All right. So, let's see. There's the Maros, which is just getting shelled to shit by everyone. He's laying down Smonk because he thinks it will prevent the bullying that's about to follow. Oh, and he's sinking too. Isn't that wonderful? We're shelling that guy there. Oh, look, all the tracers are just converging. And he's like, I don't like living here. And I'm like, good. Leave. He's like, I'm trying. And I'm like, yeah, but your boat's sad. I mean, look at this. This is an awful boat. I've used this hull to zero effect before. It's useful to say I have a ship on paper. My guys are firing about 1 million rounds to the hit, and that's fine. It keeps the enemy on their toes, or rather, hiding in their bunks. How dare you shoot at me, tracer sounds. I mean, look at that. That is fantastic. It's the sandblasting effect. Alright, everybody, you can fire normal. You're allowed to aim. I mean, we're just... Yeah, the water is constantly exploding. And their other boats are just trying to leave as best they can, which is a noble idea. But I also think it's kind of valuable to let some of these ships crawl back to port and tell the story of what happened. Like, oh, we met them with our greatest battleships. Oh, and then what happened? They sank them. I mean, he's just losing crew to fires on board. He's like, please no. I'm like, yes, more fire. Fire, good. Fire, very good. Kaiserin Elizabeth is on fire. Yes, it is. Burn, burn, burn. All right, you know what? I'm going to lay down some smoke. That'll effectively end the battle. That'll be my disengaging trick. I'll let those other ships crawl back and tell their story to their superiors. They'll be like, it was bad. Yes, it was. 2-1, not bad. I mean, I lost a lot of crews on ships, and I only lost, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ships in the end. That's fine. I'm not terribly worried. And I lost a lot of crews across the ships as they took casualties, which is where you can soak up a lot of crew loss. But he lost the big capital ships, and I haven't even brought out my capital ships. I just brought out the cruisers, so oops. Yeah, I'll just auto-resolve that. Yeah, he's losing his boys. He's like, but please no. I'm like, yes. So what's his navy now? Let's look at his navy now. 45 ships left, 2 battleships, 8 cruisers, 14 light cruisers, 21 torpedo boats. So still a sizable navy. Still quite the navy, and that is okay. So what we're gonna do is we have the guys there. We have some guys in the Sea of Japan. Where can I bring out more idiots? Birdbath. Birdbath soon. Birdbath soon. So yeah, we've got okay ships right now. They don't, and that's fine. So the Romanov class, you know, the Birdbath class it's a boat. It's not a great one. I knew it was not going to be a great one, but it's funny. I'm going to keep that around and see if it survives. Oh, the enemy. And I'm just pocketing all this war money because I'm the dockyard. And I'm like, yeah, no, things are fine. And I'm just skimming off the top of this and putting it into like a high yield savings account. They're like, why does the Admiral have a platinum Rolls Royce? And I'm like, mind your own fucking business. That's why. Looks like, yeah, I'll auto-resolve that. And because I want some randomness in these early battles. I know that that's gonna be a little bonkers, and I know that sounds insane because I know I could win them hands down, but I want some randomness. I want some of these early battles to be kind of randomly decided, just so I can have to deal with the aftermath. I know that's gonna drive some people nuts, but at any rate, that'll do for this episode. It is August 1902. And I'm going to fight these people. So far, I think that we're doing really well. 3-1 on victory points, so they lose. And I'm building a very large shipyard. Before I end this episode, though, let's see. What if we design something new? Let's see do we have anything fancy or new? Not really. We still have the Battleship 6. Battleship 6. What kind of name is... all right. We could build a fancy cruiser, you know? We could build something that pleases the Tsar. We have to show these shipyards are busy, after all. And 3 smokestacks. This is that new era of limited smonk. And, yeah, you know, let's do 9-inch guns, which is reasonable for... I mean, good God, it's actually... decent. 9-inch guns, yeah, secondaries. Can I put 4-inch guns? Yeah, alright. No, come on. Why not? Why won't this fit there? You son of a bitch. Alright, that's fine. Casemate guns. Alright, so a little bit of 4-weight offset, that's okay. I'm not really worried. So this is gonna be my, ooh, this could be fun. How heavy can I make this son of a bitch? Alright, and then I move you back 1, and then this fits, and then that fits, and then, yeah, that's a 4-inch gun. Can these fit now? No. Because stupid. Alright, well, that'll be okay. I want more... Oh, there. Look at that. 4 smonk. And it can do 22 knots. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking with gas. Alright. It has a lot of pitch problems. What doesn't, right? My favorite things in life are unstable. Alright, let's see what we can do here. So I got some tonnage to play with. Okay, 3-inch main bell, 1 fore and aft, and let's try to put an inch on the deck. That'll do. Engine efficiency is yes, which is great. And then yeah, alright. This'll do. This is gonna be my fast boat. This is going to be my yardstick of civilization, and I need to use and justify my Navy budget somehow. So this is the method by which I will do that. I'm going to build something that will replace a lot of the crappier boats in my Navy as they're attritioned out of existence. And I need to build some cruiser squadrons anyways that have reasonable range and speed so I can catch their fleeing navies. It's half as much as the bird boat, which is nuts. Or bird bath. Ugh. All right, I'm gonna build them in 4s because I have the northern fleet, I have the eastern fleet, and I have the southern fleet. So here we go. I'm gonna put U4 in southern Russia. I'm gonna put U4 in Latvia, and I'm going to put U4 in the Russian Far East. And by slowly building these out, yeah, see, still turning a positive. And once they're all done, I'll build more. I will build successive iterations of these until I unlock Dreadnoughts. A little bit behind the times on the whole Dreadnought business, but that'll be fine. And, yeah, that'll do for this episode. Remember, take care of each other. I'll see you next time.
When we build up, I know I'm gonna be the best warship was built for you. When we set out, I know I'm gonna be the best warship that sails for you. When we spot them, I know I'm gonna be the best warship that will take point. And if we take heat, I know I'm gonna be the best warship to take that heat. Oh, I would block 800 rounds, and I could block 800 more just to be the ship that took 1,600 rounds and sunk them down below. When we're working, I know I'm gonna be the warship working hard for you. And when the fleet comes, I know I'm gonna block every round they ever throw. When we take heat, you know I'm gonna be the ship that comes down to save you. And if they sink me, well, you know I'm gonna be the ship that takes one more with me. 'Cause I would block 800 rounds, and I could block 800 more just to be the ship that took 1,600 rounds before I up and blow. Now, when they pen me, I know I'm gonna be the warship tells them I'll fuck you. And when they struck me, I know I'm gonna be the ship that fires torpedoes. When I go out, well, you know I'm gonna be the ship that's shooting torpedoes. When they sink me, yes, I know I'm gonna be the ship that sinks a couple more. I'm gonna be the ship that sinks way fucking more. 'Cause I would block 800 rounds, and I would block 800 more just to be the ship that took 1,600 rounds before I up and blow. Now, now.